Okay, so you talked about how you see yourself in this amazing relationship by December 2026, and we discussed what the first step was, which was what again?
Meeting people.
You've got to meet people. Yes, that's your starting point. That is the starting point for any potential relationship.
Okay.
So if you're not meeting anybody, then you have not started your game. You have not started your journey.
Okay.
And we've got to start the game, and that's why in Kate's podcast, we talked about playing the Candyland game. Have you ever played the Candyland game when you were a kid?
Candyland. I may have once or twice, but it wasn't top on my list.
Okay, well, it's a game that has a starting point, and you got to get to the gingerbread house, and you got to go through the Candyland to get there.
Okay.
Or nowadays, I think it's called the King Candy's Castle.
Okay.
But whatever it is, that's the goal. And once you get there, game over. You're happily ever after with King Castle.
Okay.
So you're going to be buried
with all the candy.
and all the sweets, because they have ice cream, they have cupcakes and all kinds of cool stuff.
That makes everybody happy.
So that's what I want to create for you. I want to show you how we can turn your world into a wonderful, sweet game of meeting people. But in the Candyland game, in order to move forward, you have to have these cards. There's no dice in the game and there's no spin dial.
Okay.
So there's cards. You pick a card up and it may say color red, so you move to the color red.
Okay.
Next one says 2 purples, you move to 2 purples. Next one says 1 yellow, you move to yellow. One may say sweethearts, then you got to move to the sweethearts. So you keep moving until you get to the finish line.
Okay.
So in like manner, every man that you say hello to, every man that you encounter, every man that you meet is one of those color cards.
Okay.
That's not the man that's going to be the king of your castle.
Okay.
So the object of the game is to go through the different colors of men. All ages, all sizes, all shapes, all colors, because all of these men that you meet are going to take you and guide you to King Castle.
Okay.
Matter of fact, I think I want to buy a Candyland game so I can show you how to play the game, so you get a better vision of how this works. Okay? All right. So now, let me ask you this question. Do you think meeting a man at a nightclub is a great location to meet someone that's going to be you're going to be in a long-term relationship?
Not really.
See, that's my point.
but it was the only thing I could think of.
You intuitively already know that. Yeah.
Yeah.
And why is that? Why do you think a guy at a nightclub is not going to be the best candidate for a long-term relationship?
I think they're just partying. They're not meeting people.
Good. Now we're on the same page. Because if I were to say to you, if you met someone at a resort, on a cruise, or at a party, or if you met someone at a faith-based conference or a self-growth conference, which man do you think would be the better potential for a long-term relationship?
Probably somebody from maybe a conference of some kind.
And why is that? Why do you say that?
Because I think they're actually there to meet people in addition to the conference subject itself.
Very good. Because when you meet someone at a conference, at a faith-based meeting or a self-growth meeting, he's there for self-growth. And anybody he meets there, you have a shared value.
Right.
So he has this self-growth vibration. So when you meet a guy like that, he's going to want to grow with you.
Okay.
Whereas if you meet a guy at a party or a nightclub or a resort, he's got a party vibe.
Right.
So wherever you meet the man, he's into that vibration of that environment. So I don't know why anybody thinks you can go meet somebody at a club and you're going to have a happily ever after. Now, I'm not saying that there aren't aberrations or there aren't anomalies, because there are outliers. There are these stories where there are people that have met someone in those locations and it turned out fairly well.
Right.
But not as a general rule.
Correct.
Because
I agree.
The objective is to raise the probability and put the odds in your favor. You see how it works?
Yes.
Now, the second step after meeting someone would be called what? See, step 1 is meeting someone. Step 2 would be what? And we'll hold that for the next video, alrighty? Because I heard crickets.
Me too. I was about ready to...
Was that a cricket or a frog?
That was a frog.
Oh.